we have reached the NBA Finals. And what did I tell you the matchup was going to be? Cleveland and Golden State for the fourth straight year. And if you're not a fan of the Cavs or the Warriors, or even a fan of LeBron James or Steph Curry or Kevin Durant, this series may not have any interest or any appeal to you. And I don't blame you. I don't really have interest in this series either. I knew this was the match we were going to get for the last 11 months, and people thought that we're not going to see that matchup 4 years in a row. You only get three. No, four is coming, and you got to accept it. Just like I've said the last 11 months. Even though I did say in the NBA player predictions video that we were going to get Cleveland and Golden State the whole time, I said that at least they're going to have to earn it this year. And they did have to earn it this year. Cleveland had to win in the first round. And it took 7 games to get past the Pacers in the first round for Cleveland. It took 7 games to get past the Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals. It took the Golden State Warriors to win a Game 7 against the Houston Rockets. And the Rockets, they seem like a really tough team to beat in a 7 game series. But the Warriors did it. And let me also add the Warriors had to win a must win Game 6 to force a Game 7. And Cleveland had to do the same thing against the Celtics. So both of those teams earned the right to be there this year. And even though you're bummed out that we have to watch or we have to endure Cleveland and Golden State for at least the next, at a minimum, or maybe or at a maximum, for about another 2.5 weeks, or a minimum of about another week. You just have to respect that both of those teams earned the right to be there this year, and it wasn't a quote unquote cakewalk. Let me get into the prediction. Well, let me just preview it first. I know there may not be much to preview because it may be obvious to someone how this series is going to go down. But for Cleveland to have a chance in this series, somebody step it up for LeBron. Somebody help out LeBron James. He can't take on 4 All-Stars on his own. Jeff Green did a good job stepping up in the Eastern Conference Final in Game 6 and 7. Korver's got to step up on threes. Because if you're going to beat the Golden State Warriors, you got to match up with their skill set. And one of their skill sets is a three-point shot with Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. So Korver's got to make three-pointers. J.R. Smith has got to have a performance like he did in Game 5 of last year's NBA Finals. Even though they lost that Game 5 and that was what ended their season, J.R. Smith still really played a pretty solid game that night. So J.R. Smith has got to step up in this series. For the Warriors, oh man, for Cleveland to win the series as well. Another thing they got to do, they got to play hard in the third quarter. They got to play aggressive in the third quarter. Try outscoring goals in the third quarter because the third quarter is where the Warriors have shined in the postseason. I believe, to my knowledge, they've outscored their opponents in the playoffs by, I think it's 118 points. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but it's somewhere around there. So that's where they gotta really try to play to the pace of Golden State and try to watch out for the third quarters. That's when they're gonna start stepping up their game. And for the Warriors, beware of where LeBron James is at all times. Because the mentality for the Warriors right now is that it's just LeBron James. They don't really see anybody else out there. So that's their big key for the Warriors if they're going to win this series. Then another key for them is that third quarter and getting off to a fast start because the Warriors played really sloppy in the first half of games 6 and 7. It wasn't like any Warriors team that I've seen. So a fast start is going to be important for Golden State. Now, ultimately to the prediction. Now, sorry that I tried to get through those keys pretty fast, but Here's why it went pretty fast. Because it's obvious. Bring out the brooms. Warriors in 4. Maybe Cleveland will get lucky and win 1 game. But I have Warriors in 4. I don't see this going any further than 5 this year. Kind of just like last year. In fact, Game 1 and Game 2, I expect the Warriors to blow out Cleveland completely. Game 3, I think will be a little bit closer, but Golden State will still win. Game 4, I think Golden State will lock it up if Cleveland doesn't win by like 4 points. And even if Cleveland wins Game 4, Golden State will smoke them in Game 5, and that'll be it. And here's my second prediction for this. This is going to be one of the least watched NBA Finals of all time. And I know that's a very unpopular prediction, and it's an unpopular hot take. But if you just think about it, this is the 4th straight year that we're seeing this series. And a lot of fans want to watch parity. Now I'll go through the games, and I'll see if they're going to be watchable or not. Game 1, I think it's going to be watchable. People will not want to watch it as much as they really want to. So people will probably watch that one. Game 2 is on a Sunday night. People might watch that one because it's Sunday night and they have nothing else to do. Game 3, I think people won't watch Game 3, especially if the Warriors are up 2-0 when they blow out Cleveland. Maybe people will tune into Game 3, but they'll probably tune out quickly depending on how Game 3 goes. In Game 4, if the Warriors are up 3-0, then maybe people won't watch it. But I think people will just watch it but not pay attention to it because it's Friday night and they have nothing else to watch on TV. So Game 4 will probably end up being the most watchable game, the most watched game of the series, with the exception of Game 1. So I expect Game 1 and Game 4 to have the most viewership of those NBA Finals. Game 2 and 3, I don't think are going to be watched that much. Anyway, those are my predictions. Leave your prediction down below. Like, subscribe to the channel. I will see you next time.